This is the Catalyst Effect. I am your host, Isaac Carter, here with my co-host, Lucas.
Hello.
And we are at Dallas Startup Week presented by the Debt Council, and we have the opportunity to meet amazing people all week long. This is our last day at Dallas Startup Week, but I am already confident we have meetings scheduled all week long next week. So the Dallas Startup Week, Week 2.0 is going to be happening here really, really soon. I am here with two seasoned investors that help people really understand a lot. You do a lot with living
benefits arena. Yes.
All right, so we are here with Tim and his wife,
Maria.
Why don't you talk a little bit about what you do and a little bit about your background?
Okay. Well, I've been a registered investment advisor for over 30 years, but we've been specializing in the living benefits arena. Living benefits is for catastrophic events that happen. We pick up where health insurance leaves off. Health insurance will take care of your medical bills, right? But what's going to pay your mortgage? What's going to put food on the table? So we use a life insurance policy that we call love insurance or living insurance. It's if when any one of 17, actually 18 now, with Alzheimer's, cancer, heart attack, stroke, any of those events happen, you can actually call this life insurance and say, I'm still alive, but I need some money now to pay my mortgage, to pay the bills.
So I'm a founder, which means I buy my health insurance off the exchange, which is not a good experience. We've talked quite a bit about
yes.
that. And I had a medical issue a couple of years ago. I went into atrial fibrillation and had to have a heart surgery in 6 months without being overly effective. I've lost 100 pounds since then, gotten my health a lot, but I had that situation. And then many years earlier, I actually went blind, retinal detachment in both eyes. And so in both of those situations, I had to figure out how to support my family while I was also trying to manage and help my health.
Wow.
This is the type of situation where
you understand exactly. So maybe you have life insurance, right? Because, you want with life insurance, if you die, you want your debt to die and your income to continue even in life. But what if you didn't die? What good is a traditional life insurance policy going to do you? So what we do is we upgrade, kind of like people take their iPhones and every few years they upgrade them. We find people that have life insurance and say, what if for the same amount you could upgrade your life insurance and have living benefits? Because you know what, you didn't die, but your bank account might die.
And so Lucas is a missionary and a founder. So your concern is probably even higher than that, because for me, I want to figure something out. There's value in my business. I have family. I have Social Security. I have all these things. My family, they'd struggle, but we would figure things out. I would like to avoid some struggle for my family, but you've got concerns in that line too, right?
Well, sure. And we have a much more risky lifestyle in general. We live in the Middle East, and we have we've taken a plane flight each month, with 3 kids and
a 1-week-old baby.
That's right.
Oh, congrats.
Yeah, thanks.
So founders come in all shapes and sizes, all states in life. I love working with the 19-year-old kids that come in here and they're just ready to take on the world. And we've got founders with gray streaks and wrinkles and everything in between. I would think that there would be several different situations or statuses in life that, especially for a founder, this is important. You don't have the duck, right? You don't have Aflac sitting out there helping you out. So for you, for a founder, what kind of status or situation in life are you looking to really help or advise?
Yeah. Well, we like to say that we're not about a company and we're a product, but we're about on a crusade to take care of these life crises. But we can only see so many people. So we work with people that are entrepreneurial minded that say, I'd like to do a startup business. And so not a franchise, because it's not a franchise fee, but we'll bring in entrepreneurial minded people and say, join our crusade, own your own agency, and be able to become a 6, even 7-figure earner, but by changing lives. And that's our mission and our crusade.
Yeah. And so there are programs out there that, like Aflac, they sell to large employers. And if you work for a company that has 200-300 employees, odds are you can subscribe to Aflac. For me, I don't have other employees. I'm in the United States. I have 65 people working for me in Latin America. I'm the only one here. So that leaves me There's some 1099 health plans. There's some things out there, but my availability to programs like this, one, I need them because when you're healing is painful business, painful business, and healing without the support system of knowing who's paying the bills is scary, which slows down the healing, right? So what products are there that we could offer? Our following is largely startups and founders and young scale-ups. Are there any products or anything that these folks should be looking for?
Yes. Our product that I'm referring to is called Living Life Defender. And Aflac, you mentioned Aflac, a great company, but they're short-term disability. 90 days. What picks up long-term after that, well, you mentioned your particular condition, Aflac wasn't going to last long-term for you. So we pick up where they live off, being able to access that living benefit, the death benefit while you're still alive. Even better, the third piece of the puzzle. Actually, there's three pieces of the puzzle. We die too soon. That's not a good idea. But living too long can be an issue because everybody wants to retire one day. So this can turn into a lifetime retirement pension. But the third piece of the puzzle is that living benefit, getting sick or hurt along the way. So this is the perfect product for a young father like you that wants to address all of those issues. What if I die too soon? I don't know your wife. I'm sure she's beautiful. But I'd be not only sad if you died, I'd be upset if you died. We've got 3 children to raise.
That's right.
So how do you protect those as you address all those issues? Dying too soon, getting sick or hurt along the way. But if you live long enough, turn it into a lifetime pension called Living Life Defender.
Well, that's wonderful. And I love your heart to serve people and help people live a prosperous life as well.
Yes.
I mean, you want to see people not just add days to their life, but life to their days.
Love that line. Can I use that?
Yes.
So
Another thing important is that with the Living Life Defender, so many products out there, retirement and all that. Well, when the stock market goes down, many of them have to start all over again.
yeah.
With ours, when the stock market goes down, we're indexed to the stock market, not in the stock market. Therefore, we lock in our gains. So when the stock market's going up again, we're starting here, not down there.
Okay.
And then when you get your monies, it's tax-free. I think a lot of people like it.
So I've been saying this all week. I learned from lawyer Vinny at a conference last week. There are cycles in life, which normally last about 5 years, and then you have seasons in life, which is typically 15 years, and then you have people that are seasoned. And when you become seasoned, you can look at something and say, "I've seen this before," because you've been through several cycles, you've been through several seasons. I've been through in the business world about a season and a half now. Tim, you seem like the kind of guy that have seen some seasons.
I'm seasoned, and you can tell so from the wrinkles in this face.
Yeah, and you've got a partner in life and business and trouble, and I'm sure you guys have a lot of fun, and you're out there. But you're looking around, and you're seeing things that you've seen before, and I'm sure you'll see them again. What are you seeing out there where people are like really either exciting or avoiding, and you're sitting there saying, "Yeah, I've seen this before." What help my younger viewers here gain from some of your experience?
Well, that is a famous thing with our product, and I don't know whether that answers correctly directly, but we'll talk to people that perhaps have life insurance, perhaps have, like Maria mentioned, a retirement account, but it's tied to the Ks or things that you're actually with a 401k. You actually are signing up to becoming an LLC. You've got a partner, and he's called Uncle Sam. So we like to cut out Uncle Sam and say, why would you want to partner with Uncle Sam, not be able to touch your money to your 59 and a half and have the market volatility? With our product, you can access your money early. You can be able to make it tax-free. Like Maria said, you can lock in the gains, but then the life insurance and the living benefits are thrown in. So there is not another product. Ours is a proprietary product that if you talk to other life insurance people, they say, I've never heard of that. If you talk to people in the investment world, they'll say, I've never heard of that. So we like to say we're more similar to, on the investment side, to a Roth IRA, but we say it's like a Roth IRA on steroids because of all of these additional benefits.
So you see folks in, like the sound says, north of Richmond, the rich men north of Richmond. You see people in Washington start talking about when we're going to retire and what our quality of life is going to be when we retire. And you think, yeah, I've seen all this before. And for me, I saw a meme about this morning. Literally, somebody says, oh, yeah, they're talking about moving the retirement age to 70. I can retire whenever I want, right?
Yeah.
Like
Right.
we're building our own future, our own financial stability. And that's one of the reasons why you get into entrepreneurship, is so that we don't have to rely so much on the rich men north of Richmond. I don't think that that's copyrighted. I'm allowed to say that, right? And so that's what you see people talking. You see people out there changing Social Security and changing other benefits. And you think, I've seen this before. That's why I have engaged with a product to help me own my own lifestyle and future and retirement and health and wellness.
You know, it's very interesting that you say that. Is I love entrepreneurship and I love mentoring entrepreneurs, and that's certainly part of our business because we can't get out there and we can actually be the Pied Pipers, right? By helping somebody learn how not only to utilize this product, but to be able to get out and start a business of their own. But entrepreneurs tend to be the worst served. If you work for a company, at least you get a 401k. And I've already started. I'm not a big fan of those because of having to share it with Uncle Sam. And you get all these benefits, but entrepreneurs tend to lean on, well, I'm going to make my millions through my company, through selling my company. And I always recommend diversify. When I first went into business, I had a wonderful mentor said, take 10% of your money, at least 10%, and put it away for your future outside your company. And he said, if you can't afford to do that, you don't need to be an entrepreneur. Go get a job.
Yeah, and save. And then, because that's what I did, is I worked for a company that had really good RSU program, and I waited for those RSUs to vest, and then I had a couple of $100,000 in the bank, and then my business was able to take over my salary, and then I had a safety net there, and then I maintained some of the stocks and was able to diversify that way. And so absolutely, if you're not ready to provide for, because when I first started my first business, my wife was looking for jobs or food stamps and stuff like that. She's like, how I was focused on my business without being focused on making sure that my family was taken care of. And this time around, I've said this before, with my family, my wife and I sit down and I said, what time do you need for me? And I put that on the schedule. I put that on the calendar first before I start scheduling my business meetings, before I do anything else. My wife knows, because she was coming to me, I need you to work fewer hours. I need you to travel less, and I need you to take home more money. And I haven't figured out the secret sauce for how to work less, travel less, and make more money. I don't know how that works, not myself. But then when I started saying, what do you need from me? What time commitment do you need? And we map that out, and I look and realize, okay, this is pretty reasonable. She just wants to know that she, as a wife and mother, is supported. And financially, that's what she was looking for too, knowing that she had financial stability and security for our kids, for our family, and for our future. And when I look at it like that, she wasn't saying anything unreasonable. I mean, I'm sure your wife is the same. You've got a baby. You're traveling to the reaches of the world and spreading your message and on your mission. And I'm sure the two of you are doing that together. But
my mentor told me, you said it, when you see your wife is like the dashboard on your car, those lights start flashing. Wife, she's the one that's flashing, letting you know it's time to slow down, check the engine, put on the brakes.
You guys are the perfect entrepreneurs, because if you're going to become an entrepreneur, find something that you have a passion for, that either in short term, and most entrepreneurs do, you're willing to work for free, right? Because you can see over the horizon. But sometimes that passion can put us so microscopic that we forget the passion of why we married our other spouse. And then, so you've got to be able to allocate time, like you mentioned, so that you don't let that passion for your entrepreneurship outweigh the passion for other things in life.
Yeah, when my wife comes to me and says, are you busy tomorrow? I'll say, hold on a second. What are you really asking? Are you asking me because yes, the answer is yes. But if you're asking me, can you support me with this tomorrow? The answer is also yes. Like, tell me what you need, and I'll align that time first. So that's one thing I'm trying to teach my daughter is ask what you're asking. Instead of saying, are we leaving soon? Say, I'm hungry. I'll meet your needs, but no, we're not leaving anytime soon. Oh, well, I just guess I'll just be here hungry all day until I blow up on somebody. And ask for what you're asking for. Do you have any final thoughts, Lucas?
Well, Tim, you mentioned that this is a great track for an entrepreneur if they wanted to start maybe a side business, or this would be even a full-time career for.
Absolutely. That's well put, because we allow people, in fact, I encourage people that want to be entrepreneurships, but they have a job and they'd like to get out of that JOB. To me, a JOB, and I can say this because you're all entrepreneurs, stands for just over broke, right? And so this is a great way to segue into being an entrepreneur. We say keep your full-time job, because that puts food on the table no matter how much you dislike it, until you can get, but give your boss their 40 hours or whatever they're due, but build your fortune being an entrepreneur and put in another 20 hours until we can get that entrepreneurship, that 15, 20 hours into income that'll equal your full-time job. And then you can go in and talk to your boss and politely say, kiss him goodbye.
That's right.
Johnny Paycheck has a song about that, I think.
Yes, he does. I was trying to keep the podcast clean.
Well, we are here at Dallas Startup Week. So thankful for the Debt Council and Capital One for sponsoring all of this. And